Welcome to Win the Day from Back to the Bible. I'm your coach, Pastor Nat, and today we're going to look at the book of 3 John. Contrasts help us to know what is good or bad. Contrasts help us to know what is preferred or undesirable. We see it all the time. In elections, you often have two candidates, one that you like and one that you don't like. You can see the two and contrast the differences. The same thing happens with books, with movies, food, businesses, or people. You look at your options, you contrast the differences, and you make the best choice. Well, if you need a reminder that humility and generosity are better than pride and greed, then you should study the book of 3 John. The letter of 3 John is the third letter written by John from Ephesus. He was writing to Gaius and his local church. John wrote this approximately in 90 AD. Now, to see the connection between 1st, 2nd, and 3 John, we have to just look backwards. In 1 John, John writes about fellowship with God. In 2 John, it's all about rejecting fellowship with false teachers. And in 3 John, John encourages fellowship with Christian brothers and sisters. The letter is to contrast two people. Gaius, who is faithful in his walk with Christ. He's hospitable and he is supportive of missionaries who visit the church. He is a partner in the gospel. And then there is Diotrephes. He is the polar opposite of Gaius. He is proud. He is selfish. He has refused a letter that John wrote for the church. He has overtaken the church and rejected the apostles' authority. So what is the main thing from 3 John? It's that your works expose your relationship with God. 3 John chapter 1, beginning in verse 11 says, "Dear friend, do not imitate what is evil, but what is good. The one who does good is of God. The one who does evil has not seen God." I don't know if you know this. This is probably the most concise view of good and evil in the Bible. As Christians, we are ambassadors of Christ. We represent Him to the world. We are a magnifying glass that brings God into focus. Our behavior, it does just that. So what do your actions show? In 3 John, John contrasts the difference between Gaius and Diotrephes. Again, Gaius displays goodness through his hospitality and his generous actions. 3 John chapter 1, verses 5 and 8 says this, "Dear friend, you are acting faithfully in whatever you do for the brothers and sisters, especially when they are strangers. Therefore, we ought to support such people so that we can be co-workers with the truth." So here's my challenge for you today. Be generous and hospitable. We live in a time and a place where we must try to find ways to be hospitable. But you can do so by inviting someone over for a coffee, a meal, or even some encouragement. You can take someone out and do the same thing. You can be generous in many meaningful and impactful ways. Regardless of what you do today, it will expose your heart. So ask God for a heart that is like His and begin to show that God-driven hospitality and generosity today.